The world was quiet, the kind of quiet that presses against your chest and refuses to let go. Skyscrapers lay broken, windows shattered, streets cracked and frozen. Commander Ryan Hale walked alone through the ruins of the city, each step echoing like a memory. The sky above was a dull gray, heavy with ash and smoke. Faint traces of sunlight struggled to pierce the thick clouds, casting the streets in a dim, almost dreamlike light. Ryan paused at the edge of a collapsed plaza, glancing at the distant observatory where the last functioning satellite arrays still monitored the sky. He could feel the weight of the world in his bones, the ache of loss, and the flicker of determination that refused to die. Mira's voice came through the radio, calm yet heavy, updating him on the Solace shuttle. It was humanity's final chance, a fragile vessel capable of carrying the few survivors to the stars. The blue signal appeared again in the sky, spiraling and pulsing with a rhythm that felt almost alive. Ryan's heart pounded as he adjusted his instruments, trying to interpret its purpose. It was not random. It had intention. The wind howled through the broken streets, carrying with it whispers of the past. Every ruined building seemed to breathe with memory. He thought of the people who had lived here, the children who had once played in parks that now lay in ruins. The Solace shuttle waited silently in the ruined launch bay, its metallic hull glinting faintly under the gray sky. Commander Ryan Hale sprinted across the cracked concrete, his boots sending shards of ice and debris scattering. The cold bit through his suit, but he ignored it, focused on the task ahead. Mira was already inside, checking systems and running diagnostics, her face pale but resolute. The blue spiral signal in the sky grew stronger, almost tangible, pulsing in a rhythm that matched Ryan's own heartbeat. Every instrument aboard the shuttle reacted, screens flickering with strange patterns and waves of light. Ryan reached the cockpit and felt a surge of determination. They were leaving a dying Earth behind, but the universe beyond was alive, vast and waiting. The engines roared to life, shaking the metal floors as the Solace lifted off, leaving the ruins behind. Dust and ice swirled in a chaotic storm, painting the air with motion and light. Mira's fingers flew across the controls as she stabilized the shuttle, her eyes reflecting the pulsing blue signal. Ryan looked out the window, seeing the cracked continents. The shuttle broke through the upper layers of Earth's atmosphere, entering the cold emptiness of space. Stars stretched endlessly, brilliant yet distant, reminding Ryan of humanity's fragile place in the cosmos. Mira monitored the instruments, noting that the blue signal intensified, following their trajectory with an almost deliberate precision. The patterns on the screens formed shapes that seemed intelligent, deliberate, and alive. The cabin was silent except for the hum of the engines and the occasional creak of metal under stress. Ryan pressed his hand to the window, staring into the void. The planets and moons of their solar system shrank below, like memories fading in a dream. Suddenly, the blue spiral transformed into a complex formation, swirling around a point far ahead. Mira said the energy field had structure, almost like it was trying to communicate. The patterns began to pulse in a rhythm reminiscent of a heartbeat, soft yet insistent. Then a voice, faint and melodic, resonated through the cabin. It was not human, yet it carried emotion, something recognizable. The voice told them that it had been observing humanity for eons, remembering every act of courage, every choice, every hope. Ryan's chest tightened, a mixture of fear. The blue spiral opened into a vast structure, a ring floating silently in the void. Its surface shimmered like crystal fused with metal, ancient yet alive. The shuttle approached slowly, instruments overwhelmed by energy readings. Mira's fingers danced over the controls, keeping the Solace steady as the light wrapped around them. Patterns appeared across the hull, symbols resembling fragments of human writing, yet older, almost primeval. Ryan realized the station wasn't just a structure, it was a repository, a memory bank of existence itself. The voice returned, telling them that humanity's courage had left a mark across the stars. The shuttle drifted into the heart of the ring, surrounded by a luminous field of floating memories. Every panel of light showed echoes of Earth, people walking streets, children playing, laughter frozen in time. Mira felt tears stream down her face, the enormity of it all pressing against her chest. The continuum spoke, explaining that humanity's fire, their courage, empathy, and creativity, had reached beyond extinction and now became part of the archive. Ryan's presence lingered as a soft reflection of light integrated into the field. Mira whispered that perhaps survival wasn't enough, that remembrance was the true victory. The Solace moved carefully through the archive, guided by the continuum. Symbols and patterns shifted, responding to the shuttle as if it were alive. The memories of humanity were not just preserved, they were celebrated. Mira realized that humans, fragile and small, had left an indelible mark on the universe. The blue light pulsed rhythmically, like a heartbeat syncing with the shuttle's motion, and she understood that this was the gift of the continuum: acknowledgement, remembrance, and hope. The Solace drifted further into the archive, the luminous field expanding like a living ocean. Mira sat alone in the cockpit, the weight of responsibility heavy on her shoulders. Ryan's consciousness lingered in the ship, a faint presence guiding her. The continuum spoke softly, telling her humanity needed a new beginning. Stars stretched endlessly beyond the archive, untouched by decay or time. Mira realized the gift she had been given, the ability to carry humanity's legacy forward. She adjusted the course, the ship responding as if alive. Silhouettes of past humans appeared in soft light, their faces smiling, offering encouragement. The Solace emerged from the archive into a new galaxy, stars stretching in radiant colors, nebulae painting the void. Mira gazed out, feeling the enormity of the gift the continuum had given humanity. Ryan's presence was gone, now fully integrated into the archive, yet his voice remained in every pulse of light. Mira whispered to the stars that humans would continue, that their courage and empathy would reach new worlds. The blue spiral faded into the horizon, leaving behind a faint glow as if marking the beginning of a journey. Mira smiled through her tears, understanding that even in the face of extinction, humanity had achieved the impossible. They had become eternal. The shuttle moved forward into uncharted space, carrying the legacy of a species that proved courage, emotion, and resilience were the greatest forces in the universe. Hope was no longer fragile. It was infinite.